A brief overview of Albania's history. The genesis of every nation is its history. It is history that dates back to the origins of a nation's existence, giving meaning to its identity and aspirations. The Albanian nation does not have a history filled with wars of conquest against other peoples, but the history of Albania testifies to the ancient presence of our people in the region of Southeastern Europe, as an indigenous and hospitable people toward those forced to leave their own lands. Albania is considered one of the regions with the oldest traces of human habitation in the Balkans and Europe. Numerous archaeological findings across various Albanian regions, such as Lepenicë in Vlorë, Tren in Korçë, and Xara in Sarandë, confirm the ancient presence of populations in Albanian territory. By studying these archaeological artifacts, researchers have established that the first Albanian settlements began between 100,000 and 40,000 years before Christ, during the Paleolithic period. Likewise, during the Neolithic period, 6000 to 2600 BCE, a much denser population inhabited Albanian lands. This has been observed in excavations carried out in Korçë, where 12 settlements dating from this period have been discovered. The Indo-European population settled here in the early 3rd millennium BCE. As a result of this migration, a new population group emerged in the Balkan Peninsula, the Pelasgians, who preserved distinct cultural and linguistic characteristics. This ancient population later became the ancestors of the Illyrians. Following their decline in 30 BCE, and after the 3 Illyrian-Roman Wars, Illyria fell under the control of the Roman Empire. After the division of the Roman Empire, 395 CE, Illyria became part of the Byzantine Empire. Despite Roman rule, the Illyrians preserved their language and traditions for centuries. The first Byzantine emperors, Anastasius I, Justin, and Justinian I, were of Illyrian origin. Barbarian tribes such as the Visigoths, Huns, Ostrogoths, and Slavs continued their invasions throughout the 5th and 6th centuries. By 1344, Albania was under the rule of the Serbian kingdom. After its defeat against the Ottomans in 1389, several important Albanian principalities emerged, including those of the Balkans, Topia, and Muzaka families. The Albanian resistance against Ottoman rule. The pinnacle of anti-Ottoman resistance was reached between 1443 and 1468, when Albania's national hero, Gjurgj Kastrioti Skanderbeg, led the Albanian revolt against the Ottomans. During this period, Iberia became a key factor throughout Europe. Following the formation of a coalition of Albanian principalities through the historical League of Lajë, March 2, 1444, Gjurgj Kastrioti Skanderbeg led 25 years of resistance against the Ottoman threat. The leader of the Arba people, Gjurgj Kastrioti Skanderbeg, 1405 January 17, 1468, represents an entire era of Albanian national history, marking a decisive turning point in the country's political development and strengthening Albanian national consciousness. Following Skanderbeg's death, Albania fell under Ottoman rule for nearly 5 centuries. The Albanian national awakening and independence. The Albanian resistance continued in later periods, inspired by the Albanian national renaissance, which emerged in the 19th century. The League of Prizren was suppressed by the Ottoman Empire in 1881, but it remained a symbol of Albanian awakening against centuries-old Ottoman rule. It inspired efforts for national independence among the 4 Albanian vilayets. Popular revolts and continued efforts for independence culminated in Albania's declaration of independence on November 28, 1912. The Assembly of Vlorë established Albania's first government, led by Ismail Kemali. Shortly afterward, European powers convened at the London Conference of Ambassadors, where Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, France, and Italy debated territorial issues arising from the Balkan Wars. The conference agreed to create an independent Albanian state but, due to pressure from Albania's neighbors, the great powers disregarded Albania's demographic map, leading to territorial losses to neighboring countries. The newly formed Albanian state was imposed with a foreign ruler, Wilhelm von Wied, a German prince, as a condition for Albania's recognition by European powers. Wilhelm von Wied arrived in Albania in March 1914, but left after only 6 months. Modern political developments. On January 28, 1920, the Congress of Lushnja convened, aiming to preserve Albania's territorial integrity following World War I. The Congress formalized the foundations of the Albanian state, electing a new government led by Sulejman Delvina. Albania was officially recognized as an independent state by the League of Nations in December 1920. In 1928, Albania was declared a constitutional monarchy, ruled by King Zog I. On April 7, 1939, Albania was invaded by Mussolini's fascist troops, ending the 11-year reign of King Zog. By 1943, Albania was occupied by Nazi Germany. After World War II, Enver Hoxha established a totalitarian communist dictatorship, one of the most severe regimes in Eastern Europe. Albania remained isolated for nearly 50 years under communist rule. With the fall of the Berlin Wall, mass Albanian emigration and student protests in 1990 signaled Albania's push for freedom and democracy. In 1991, Albania officially transitioned to multi-party elections. Since 2009, Albania has been a full member of NATO and is undergoing reforms aimed at integration into the European Union.